Our story has ended. Centuries of battle, meaningless. Shao Kahn has consumed Earthrealm. His victory must be undone. Armageddon averted. We will strike where he is vulnerable. The past.
I know y'all get those days where y'all just say, man, I just want to beat the shit out of somebody. Don't you?
Yes.
Oh, yes. But you couldn't really do it before then because fighting games became such I guess, something that was special to those people who played them a lot. As in people who invested their lives in them, that somebody who got home from work and just wanted to beat the shit out of somebody and want to play a fighting game, a casual gamer like me when it comes to fighting games, couldn't do it because I was always getting my ass beat down.
That's the one time losers feel like real men.
Yeah.
So instead of torturing animals or wetting the bed or starting fires, they get to kick somebody's ass. So, yeah, these video games have done a public service.
It's true. It's true. It has put a balance in life. You know, for once, these guys who are always getting their asses beat, people that I could beat down in real life, you know, they actually got the jump on me. They're frustrating me online because they beat the shit out of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Jeff, you're the main one I'm concerned about. I think we finally found a game for you that doesn't make you want to kill somebody. And I mean really kill somebody.
I will let people beat me down in Mortal Kombat all day.
This game has saved so many homeless people. This game has saved so many homeless people from Jeff's murderous blade that he calls Stabby.
Are you kidding? It saved us. When we
saved us.
Yeah,
right.
when we were playing Marvel vs. Capcom and we were making fun of Jeff, Jeff was plotting each one of our demises at some point. And I thank God for Mortal Kombat.
What do you mean was? Yeah. I got the spiral. It's in the other room right now. I could read to you out of it the poems that I've written about murdering all of you.
Poems. Wow. I found him one night. It was like 3 a.m. He was wearing lipstick, dressed up like Wolverine, and covered in blood. And I was like, Jeff, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, hey, I was just going out for a walk.
What are you talking about? That's Jeff's second job. A lot of guys pay good. Yeah, no, a lot of guys pay good money for that lipstick and Wolverine costume. But thank God, Jeff, you don't have to kill any more homeless people. Want to kill us or dress up like a gay Wolverine because now we got Mortal Kombat, and I'm really happy for you because you have finally found a fighting game that you actually not like but love.
There's a lilt in his voice.
Yes. Yeah, God, this is just what I think the fighting games have needed for a little while. I mean, we saw Street Fighter 4 bringing back that kind of old Street Fighter style, but this is a return to Mortal Kombat 3 style Mortal Kombat. None of the bullshit weapon styles or stupid censored fatalities or any of that crap. This is just good old bloody, horrible Mortal Kombat, and I love it.
Yeah, man, this is a throwback to you man. I keep telling you, kids don't know. You kids, I feel sorry for you. They've taken your Mortal Kombat away, sanitized it. You don't know what a real fatality is. Y'all don't know that Mortal Kombat like we do when it was released back in October, back in 1992, when you was sitting at the. I remember being in school.
And you thought everybody thought it was the devil?
Yeah. The
it's
parents
going to create mass murderers. People were all going to start killing each other because of Mortal Kombat.
Oh man, I remember like the first place I saw Mortal Kombat. It was in this hamburger joint. I can't remember what it was. Some greasy spoon type place. But we were eating, and as we were eating, we kept hearing across the room. What the fuck is going on back there? And then we went back there and saw like this chick being thrown from a bridge, landed on spikes, and we were like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And it was Mortal Kombat. And I was like, a game with blood?
Corey lived in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, that wasn't the game. That was real. Somebody actually threw a woman off the roof. We just kept eating. No, it was... there were women walking out with their children and like covering their eyes. There were people picking in the place, and we were like, "What the hell this is just a game. What's going on with this?" And it was Mortal Kombat. It was one of the bloodiest arcade releases at the time. And throughout the years, we've seen Mortal Kombat be the center of a lot of controversy to the point where even some game systems released it. Was it Nintendo that released it at one time? Where it was Mortal Kombat 2.
It was Sega Mega Drive, from what I remember, I think. Sega Mega Drive released Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
Where the blood was all gray, though? Where was it?
Yeah, it was Super Nintendo where it was all gray. That was Mortal Kombat 2 back in 95, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis had real red blood, but Super Nintendo obviously censored it out.
You see, that's why I think the progression came where they do fighting games after they had these stupid Japanese seizure-inducing, colorful lights coming out whenever you hit someone, whereas Mortal Kombat was like more about a bone-crunching disaster as you smash someone's face in.
Oh yeah. Now we've gone past all this stuff. Now we don't want no more babalities where you instead of killing somebody you turn them into a baby, or friendality or whatever. Friendships. Yeah, where you instead of like
Friendshiptality.
Yeah, instead of decapitating someone, you give them a bouquet of flowers or a birthday gift with confetti. None of that gay shit. All right, we want to get back to the basics: blood and breaking bones, and that's what this latest Mortal Kombat is all about. And I'm joined with Professor Murder Jeff. I'm joined Murder. Joined by
Exterminate.
Jason the Murphy. And Nick Hodges, the ass crusher, as in he really is crushing ass now, as in a fatality. It's like it ain't a euphemism for sex. He like that's his fatality, like crushing your midsection right there.
See Nick's X-ray attack where he grabs your pelvis and just breaks it in half.
Now, between all four of us here.
Oh yes.
Yeah. No, we are going to. So girls, look out. Nick is killing people now. Okay, so between all four of us here, now the game has been out already. You've heard a lot of good things about it. A lot of people have demanded that we have a review for this game also. So by demand, we're here to talk about it. Now, there's been a lot of things that have kept us from
demanded it. It was pretty much every review we did was pretty much where's Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat?
First, people were asking for Portal 2. We put up Portal 2, and then when we put up Portal 2, like, this is good, but no Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, the thing is, we put up Portal 2. It's like, there you go, guys, Portal 2. I hope you're really happy. And it's like, where's Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Where's Mortal Kombat? It's like,
people,
you asked 2 last week, bitch.
People were actually yelling. I think one of the comments actually yelled at me, Mortal Kombat! I was like, all right, shit. Okay, all right.
I'm glad one of us said that.
Got it out the way. No, we don't have to worry about it. And so here we are with that now. As we said, there's a lot of things that have, a couple that have individually kept us from doing every mode in the game. But collectively, we're going to try to talk about as much of the game as we can. I know myself, I have only played training mode and story mode. But, look, I can tell you just by story mode alone that me being also a casual fighting gamer, that this game, and I hate no pun intended here, but this game kicks ass, man. It's I'm addicted to just the story mode alone here.
Really?
Yeah,
the story mode. Really?
Yeah, I was just about to say, Corey, come on, the story mode.
No. Okay, okay, all right.
Wait, Jason,
qualify that. I'll give you a chance before I pounce.
Okay, I will. I will tell you why. All right. Well, let's set up the game a little bit. Can I before y'all start making fun of me? Can I?
I'm not going to make fun of you. This is going to be a tag battle.
Oh, please.
Man.
I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish.
Good. Yeah, good.
I'm going to let you finish.
When y'all are beating the shit out of me, I'll go ahead and tag Jeff, and Jeff can come in and tell you too. And y'all know Jeff is scary. Y'all know that. No, I'm ladies on my side. Now, you guys were talking about that this is a compilation of a lot of the, believe it or not, Mortal Kombat has story, and this kind of brings in the characters and story from, I think, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Is what you guys were saying.
Had you lost, the Emperor Shao Kahn would have come one step closer to physically absorbing our world into his.
Outworld, yeah, right.
The Elder Gods created the Mortal Kombat tournament to give Earthrealm a chance to defend itself. But if we lose this time, Shao Kahn will conquer all.
Dun dun dun! Look, guys, I'm an actor. I saved the world for the cameras. If this Emperor is really a threat, call the military. Me? I've got a date with a blonde. Ciao.
In this game, we have a compilation of all those characters. I think we have just under 30 characters to play here.
I think it's 26.
Yeah.
26 total.
Yeah. And you have a lot of modes in the game. As I was saying, I'm not going to be able to name all of them right now, but
a ton of them.
Yeah. You have training mode, story mode, you have the challenge tower, you have arcade mode, and then you have your online modes, you have your versus, you have King of the Hill, and we're going to try and talk about as much of those as we can. Now, you motherfuckers want to talk about me and my story mode. Let me tell you about story mode, because y'all don't understand. Because I know what you're thinking. Y'all thinking like, that story is terrible. Story mode, really? You like that? Yeah, I liked it because I realized what it is. That shit is like watching. Okay, in story mode, they have given you pretty much a CG movie within the game. And I know Jason's sitting up here thinking like, oh man, I was wrapped up in this story. No, the story is fucking horrible, okay? It's stupid as hell. It's cheesy.
Thank you.
But
it's like... It's like a kid in junior high wrote a comic book about a heavy metal cover from the 80s. It's like, and here's where a ninja fights a robot, and then Motley Crue shows up, and there's blood, and it'll be fucking awesome.
Jason, come on, Jason. Mortal Kombat has never been fine literature as far as the story and stuff has gone.
I know. Then why are they making me sit through
it can't be fine literature.
You can't even skip them. Yeah. You can't skip those little cutscenes.
No, you can't.
And they go on for a while. They use this bad dialogue, and the graphics in the cutscenes are terrible.
I'm not disagreeing with you on anything. I mean, really?
I'll disagree with you on that. I didn't think they were terrible.
Oh, no, Jeff.
You good 5 years ago.
My man here, Jeff, is, Jason is right. My man Jason's right. Though the first thing I noticed was how horrible in those cutscenes the characters are developed, man. Those characters are designed. Those characters are rendered
Chicks
out.
Look like trannies?
Man,
China.
The texturing on people's hair, I'm surprised at how they went back a couple of console generations on that. I was like, this is horrible. I mean,
like John Cage's hair, it like looked normal, but then it looked in the back and it looks like he's got cornrows or something.
Sonya has like a ponytail, and that shit looks like Lego blocks. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this is the current generation of games. I mean, it looks so great when the characters are fighting, but when they get to the cutscenes, every character they look like latex mask that people are
like real dolls.
Yeah, it's horrible. But
and then, Sonya, all the girls have like Lego blocks, like you said, strapped to their chest. Lego tits.
I won't go that
That's
far.
That's my new term, Lego tits.
No. I ain't gonna go that far now. Sonya has some good titties. I ain't gonna lie. Because I was looking
really, because every single female has the same pair of titties. I swear.
That's fine.
The same pair of titties and same 12 packs.
But Nick, let me ask you something. Is it bad to have
the same ball of twine? Sorry, go ahead.
What is it bad to have the same pair of titties throughout the game if it's a good pair of titties?
Well,
no.
They look like Pamela Anderson titties.
Y'all are fucking, y'all are just nitpicking now. And I don't even understand what's wrong with that. Y'all are just nitpicking now.
It just takes itself so seriously, and it's got all this TNA and blood and like all these like narrow-eyed proclamations. I'll have my revenge, and all this shit, and it's so straight-faced.
It is horrible. It is, and even down to like the costumes that the people wear. As much as I like titties, even I have to look at Sonya's costume because Johnny Cage looks at her and says, "Oh, you're military," and I'm looking at that costume. I'm like, "There's nothing military about that shit. That's a stripper's outfit. She should be at some
fucking shit."
Yeah, Sonya should be at some guy's bachelor party taking that shit off. That don't make any sense. If you haven't played the game, Sonya, she's talking about she's wearing a military outfit. It's pretty much a pair of hot pants and a vest that's shrunk down to just cover her nipples. It don't make any sense.
But you know what? As ridiculous as this story is, and I'm kind of going to just judge this by the half that it's been out. I've been watching that Mortal Kombat, the live action kind of semi-realistic web series they've been putting on. And if the choice is between the bullshit over the top Mortal Kombat story that we get in Mortal Kombat and that, I'll take the narrow-eyed proclamations of stupidity any day of the week over a bunch of CSI Miami looking motherfuckers shooting, realistic laser beams out of their eyes. Like,
oh, see, y'all done got off.
Jeff, you can chew on broken glass, or you can eat dog shit. Oh, I'll take the dog shit.
Oh, of course. It doesn't cut up your mouth as much. Come on.
You better quit talking to Jeff like that. You're going to make him mad now. You better quit that. Man, look.
He's going to tear my spine out.
I guess the thing that it comes down to for me is that, like, if you started playing the story mode and you didn't like it, like, you could always just move over to the ladders because there isn't a story there. It's just arcade stuff.
Yeah, bye. Well, listen, in story mode, before we're done with this part here, story mode for me, when I started playing it, I was like, this is horrible. And it is horrible throughout. But after a while, it's all about the gameplay. I can take the story mode as like watching bad kung fu theater. I mean, to make this better, what they should have done is that they should have like put the lip sync off on the characters and gave them really bad voices and have them say things like, your forearms are no match for my kung fu. That would have made it a little bit better.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and that's what they needed to do with that. I mean, it's because it's so hard.
That would be hilarious.
Racial stereotypes make every game better.
It's hilarious. Asian racial stereotype. Hi. So I see you have mechanical arms. I think that's funny. I'm sorry, call me racist, but for Mortal Kombat, that shit would have been all right. But it's the gameplay that you get into. And Jason, you are right about being able to not skip through the cinematics or the intros to every fight, because
even after you've seen them.
Yeah, no, you have to time when you want to stop the game, because you're almost forced to fight. When they say fight, you have to fight, because if you don't want to watch that cinematic over again, you got to go ahead and finish that fight and look for that little save thing in the lower right hand corner of the screen, so that you say, okay, I can stop now.
Well, wait a minute. I want to be clear about this to people that are listening, because I didn't have as much of a problem with this as you guys did. That the CGI cutscenes that they use in between each fight are used to mask the loading times, and that's why you can't skip over them. Once you've gone into a fight, if you lose, you don't have to watch that over again. It's just that when you stop the game and you come back, you have to watch whatever the last cutscene was. So if you had a 5-minute cutscene, you've got to watch all 5 minutes before you can start battling again, which is a real pain in the ass on like Shao Kahn at the end of the game or places like that. But some of those cutscenes are like 60 seconds long, and you only have to watch it one time, and then boom, you're right in the game. Okay, and I really appreciate that they put that in there like that, because you don't have to look at the loading screens.
Because you appreciate the cutscenes where they try to explain why they're fighting. I mean, it couldn't be simple like, they're just doing it in a tournament. No, it's like, you called Sonya hot. I have to fight you to preserve our honor. It's so fucking retarded. It's like he didn't even call her a slag. He's just saying, I think she's hot. It's like, okay, I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
and then Raiden is standing there going, let them talk. Yeah. Let them have it out.
Yeah, he's back there just like, no, just let them fight it out. They'll be all right.
Yeah.
No,
but you know what's funny, though? Is like, there's one fight between Jax and, what's that guy's name? The actor.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Johnny Cage. Where they have that fight, and then afterwards they both say to each other like, "I'm sorry, dude." No, it's okay. It's like, sorry, he crushed your fucking spine.
Hey, man, that's how the guys. That's how
roses at least to pay for your hospital bills.
Hey, that's how real men work it out, Nick. I know you don't know anything about that, all right? But that's how real men do it. That's how we do it. No, listen.
A wee bit overkill, mate.
I know. Listen, the good thing about story mode, when it comes to gameplay, is that, first of all, it gives you a chance to play most of the characters, and it's a good prepping ground for getting you ready for some of the other modes of the game. Outside of training mode, I mean, this is a place to really apply your skills and apply with all the different characters that you have. And story mode also allows you to earn points for unlocking certain things like fatalities, artwork, and other items that you'll do later in this mode or this area called the Crypt, which is pretty much an interactive unlocking system. So you kind of have to play through story mode to get these points there. And listen, as far as the story goes, after a while, even with a bad story, you get wrapped up in it, all right? I mean, I'm the kind of guy that likes bad shit like this once I've been bludgeoned over the head with it, because I become the black guy in the movie theater, where I'm like, I was actually yelling at the screen like, oh, shit, I know you didn't talk to him like that. Oh, don't let that bitch hit you. No,
don't you walk away, boy.
Yeah. Oh, you just gonna sit there and take that? And then I realized, I gotta start playing.
It's on now.
Yeah, it's on now. And I gotta pick up the controller because I'm like, shit, I gotta play something.
It's like a Cinemax action movie from the 80s.
Yes.
Hard ticket to Netherrealm.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of training mode, that's exactly what it says. I played a little bit through training mode. You just fight it against another dummy opponent so that you can hone and practice and learn a lot of the combos and fatalities so that you can apply them later. It's not as good as I think it could be, but
it's really brief.
Yeah, and that's the problem with it. It's really brief, and it doesn't allow you to apply those skills as much as you need to when you fight later on in the game. But it's a good introduction.
Pick who you train with?
What's that?
You can't pick who you train with. You can't say, okay, I want to do training mode for Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Just play through training mode and learn his specific moves. It just gives you the basics, and that's it. And one of the problems, and I know I've been bitching about the game a lot, but the gameplay itself is actually a hell of a lot of fun, and it's great to play with friends. But some of the moves and the little combos, I was doing training mode, and I'm sitting there looking at it, hitting this combo over and over, and it wasn't doing anything.
I had that same problem. It was kind of weird.
Okay.
Strange.
So we did all have that same problem. Yeah, we all had the same problem. I went thoroughly through a lot of the characters because, you know, you can stop and go to a menu screen where you can either stop the game, retry, or you can go into the character's moves, and they explain almost all of their moves from, you know, projectile fighting where you shoot weapons and missiles and whatnot, right down to combos and fatalities. And with me trying to use a lot of the combos, they just didn't work. And I thought, well, I don't do a lot of fighting games, so maybe it's just me. But yeah, I guess you guys have the same problem.
Well, I had that problem in the training mode, but not really so much in the main game. I mean, the combos seem to come off pretty naturally in the main game.
That's true. I mean, that's one of the things I like about it is they did strip it down, so it's not real complex. There's a lot of moves you can unlock and stuff like that, but these moves aren't really hard. They're just challenging enough to be challenging while you're in the middle of a fight, you know? Yeah. But yeah, some of them, well, especially during the training mode, I had some that I was just sitting there doing it over and over, and then finally it worked. You know, it was really strange, but I do like the way that they stripped it down to just a couple of button combos. You know, you move this direction and press B at the same time, and then hit X.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
Yeah, I will say that it probably made the game a little too easy for me in certain aspects when you talk about using certain moves and combos, but I'll get into that later. So that's kind of the extent of my gameplay here is story mode and training mode. I was going to play online, but somebody came in and pulled a fatality on Sony's network, and so I couldn't get online and play. As everybody knows, the PS network or the PlayStation network has been down for like 2 weeks now, and nobody has been able to get on and do anything. So I didn't get the chance to do that part. But I think Jason did some online stuff, and I know Jeff, I think you've played a lot of the different modes in this game because, well, you just love the game that much.
Yeah, well, a friend of mine and I have been kind of waiting for this to come out. That we both kind of were Mortal Kombat fans from back in the old days, and so there've been a couple nights where we've just, you know, can't play online, just playing, you know, the standard sitting on the couch playing tag battles or regular battles, stuff like that.
And Jeff, I can't remember, before we forget this little point, have they ever done tag team in any of the other games? Because here, I don't even think it's fair because they'll tell you to fight somebody and you'll fight one person, and then when that person's getting beat, he'll run off and then his friend will jump in and start beating the shit out of you. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, that's not cool.
Yeah, this actually has like quite a bit of tag team functionality in it. You can play 4 versus 4 where each person is controlling a separate tag person. But the thing that I found most fun was a friend of mine was we were playing 2 versus 2 on just the ladder mode. Mm-hmm. So you control one person, the other person controls the other partner, and you can tag in and out with special moves and stuff. And then you just fight up the ladder and you see the person's ending. So it's a great way to just play with a friend if you get tired of beating each other's asses and you want to beat the computer's ass for a while.
Okay, so I'm just being a crybaby right now. That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's get into something like Challenge Tower, which is kind of I guess a time passer. See, that's the thing. The great thing about this Mortal Kombat game, NetherRealms, who are the developers for this game, they kind of not only made it more accessible to the casual fighting gamer, but they put a lot of stuff in here for people to play that don't require a whole lot of online play. For single player people, there's a lot of activity here and a lot of value for your money. And Challenge Tower is one of those areas where you go in as a single player, and there's a lot of stuff to do. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to play it, Jeff. So in this area, you get to do things like you get to fight off zombies by using projectile weapons, and you can fight somebody else using only special moves. It sounds like kind of a time waster to me. I mean, but what's it like?
Well, sort of. I think that it's interesting because I think the way they've set the game up is actually you start with the training, and that gives you the basics, and then you play through the story mode, and that gives you an ever-increasing difficulty of, just fighting with a bunch of different characters. Then you go to the Challenge Tower where they start to put in really specific and wacky guidelines to certain types of fights. Like, only projectiles will damage the opponent, or your health is slowing down. There was one fight that I did last night where every second that goes by in the match slows you down by 1%. Mm-hmm. So by the time the match is like 2/3 of the way down, I think it's Cyrax versus Raiden, and Raiden is just jumping all over the place, and Cyrax is basically moving in slow motion. So it really kind of forces you, a lot of those modes will force you to learn to do stuff faster, or learn some of the more advanced combos because you don't have time to be messing around because you're losing health or something like that. But I mean, all in all, it's just there's 300 levels to the tower, and each level has a different challenge based on some specific messed up set of guidelines. And they put in the test your might, test your strike, test your luck, all that stuff. And there's weird little zombie horde things where they glue you down on one side of the screen and you can only shoot projectiles, and they've got zombies running at you and you've got to kill a certain number of them before they reach you. So it's just like you said, it's a great secondary way for people who aren't going to play online or don't want to play with friends to get a little more value out of it, because it's game types and game modes that you're just not ever going to consider normally.
Okay, and you know what? I did play. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. I did play a little bit of arcade mode. Didn't enjoy it as much as story mode, which is probably why I glossed over it. Because arcade mode, it goes back to classic Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
where you play a character and you just fight different opponents until you reach the boss, and each character has their own different ending.
That's what I preferred. Yeah,
is that what you preferred?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, the story mode is, it's kind of fun and all because it goes through all the different characters. It'll start off with one and you'll do like 4 matches with Sub-Zero and then, 4 matches with Johnny Cage and that kind of thing. And it'll weave in and out. But really, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, I think the arcade mode is the way to go, because it'll it's just fight, and then you've got your little ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to stick with one particular character that you very much like.
Right.
I'm obsessed with Smoke. Like, back in the day, it used to be Sub-Zero, but Smoke is the coolest character to me.
So, Nick, wait a minute. Did you say you're obsessed with Smoke, as in, like, anything that has smoke you just kind of drawn to?
No, I like teleporting. So when I was playing Versus with my brother, I kept pissing him off by appearing behind him and in front of him again. Okay. I wasn't really doing any fighting. It was just, it's like, I'm over here, and I'm over here.
Okay, I always want to make sure we didn't read about you, like, killing your family in a fire that you started, burning down your house one day or something, because you're like an arsonist or something. But yeah, no, I can see where arcade mode would be the preference for a lot of people, because that is classic Mortal Kombat. But I guess story mode was kind of preferred by me, because I just thought it was, as bad as the story is, it was a novel way to tell a story and a fighting game that I really hadn't seen before. So
that part where it's like you're watching the story mode and then the camera tilts a little bit and there you are in the fighting screen. That was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as fighting game story mode goes, like, this is definitely something I was really surprised to see that it's something I have never seen in a fighting game before. Having this common narrative instead of just being pick your guy, beat the last boss. Here's the ending movie of what happened to them, and you're done.
Hey, but you know what? What's Mortal Kombat what's any kind of fighting game unless you get to beat a friend's ass? Which means that you can do that in a couple of ways. You can either go online and fight people that you don't even know, or you can play with a friend and test your skills out there. And Jason, between you and Nick, I guess, Nick, you played your brother a few times and got your ass beat.
Yeah, I did. So.
Yeah, you sound like Jeff now.
But I put up a fight, though. God damn it.
Well, so what'd you think about
the 10-second fight?
So what'd you think about the versus mode in this?
I loved it. I mean, like, I especially love the fatalities. Like, every single fatality you do, like, oh my god, I can't believe, that's awesome. Because, like, each character does, like, a different set of fatalities. Like, Sub-Zero, you get to grab a guy's spleen, I think, and just crush it. And then, as Jax, you get to pretty much break the guy's spine.
This is X-rays?
When you go into X-ray mode, those are the only ones. I couldn't figure out the buttons for all the other kind of fatalities. So it was the only X-rays that I was.
Yeah, the X-rays are easy because you just like press 2 buttons and it's done.
Yeah,
fatality.
Now you see why I like
story. There for a while, I was convinced that there weren't any fatalities in the game. At all, because I couldn't.
That's the thing about story mode. You don't get any real fatalities, but you get a lot of what they call X-ray moves and enhanced moves. Now, with those, they require you to feel what they call a super meter. And with your enhanced moves, they just enhanced version of moves that you do. Just they cause bigger damage with them, and they're a little more fancy or deadly. And you only have to fill up a block of your super meter for that. But then they have the X-ray modes, which, they're cool for a little while. They don't really add anything to the game after a while because you just sit there and watch. But, when you do an X-ray move where you have to fill your whole meter to perform it, and they're not that hard to do. When you do perform an X-ray, it's kind of fun at first because you get to see skulls, spines, arms, eyes getting gouged out, everything in X-ray vision. And in story mode is funny because, like, somebody will come in and, like, who is the character with the 2 knives, Katana?
Baraka.
Oh,
There was also Sonya, I think.
Well, anybody who has like a sword or a spiked weapon or something, there will be a point where they will gouge your eyes out. And in story mode, when it's done, they just come right back to you. Like Johnny Cage will get stabbed in the eyes by somebody with 2 blades, and then they'll come back, and even his shades are still intact. And so it's kind of funny because in story mode, it's like, okay, you just imagine that. And I talked to Metal Virgin about this. That's how the character feels when they get hit by something so hard. And then they show the X-ray. But the X-rays are kind of fun to watch. I mean, you've seen that done in kung fu films where somebody will get so hard that, oh shit, it ain't enough that you hurt it. We got to show you the bones getting broken. And that's cool. And they're not too hard to pull off. After a while, like I say, not really necessary for gameplay, but it's fun. Not as fun as Fatalities, though. That's really what you want to see. And speaking of which, there are plenty of Fatalities in here. At this point, you can go online and watch them. But the gore in this game, listen, Mortal Kombat has come to the point now where they know that people want to see blood. And either you're going to be happy with what they've done here because they've gone way over the top, or going over the top is going to be like, well, now that's just stupid because they're comical now. There's one fatality you can see online where Johnny Cage will karate chop somebody's head in half, and then he'll stick it's not enough that the head is split in half. He has to take out a trophy that he's pulled out of his ass and like stuff it in between the brains and guts of the split head. And even when he does it, you hear like a boink. And so you can't take him too seriously now, where before the graphics the fatalities were kind of horrifying. Here is just, we've seen, it's itchy and scratchy at this point. It's a Looney Tunes cartoon.
When those fatalities happen, I wasn't able to figure out, but when they do happen, is the other opponent like knocked out for the rest of the fight, or does he just get back up again like in X-ray mode?
No, fatalities at the end of the battle when they're standing there and it says finish him.
Yeah.
Finish him. Okay.
Yeah, that's the end of the fight. Yeah, you split somebody's head open. They ain't getting back up from that.
If you gouge someone's eyes out, they could still get back from that, you know.
Nick, is this your first Mortal Kombat game?
No, I played the original back in 1992, but this is I didn't play.
You were like 5.
Yes, I was. I went around to my cousin's house.
He was the original Babality playing this shit.
I didn't play any of the other Mortal Kombats after the second one, so it's kind of been a while and very hazy on the whole story thing. But I kind of wish, like in X-ray mode, like when you do crush someone's spine like that or gouge someone's eyes out, they're like, I don't know, they're out for the rest of the fight. Or if you break someone's arm, they can't use that arm again. Like I thought that would be really cool if they did that. But
well, speaking of gore in the game, when characters get beat up progressively, I mean, by the end of a battle, they look like they got their ass whooped. I mean, they got bruises and blood and nose and lips are bleeding, and I thought that was cool. This progression of just getting your ass beat.
Where did you see that? All I saw was just like a slight bruise every now and again on a character you just beat up before you shook his hand.
It doesn't show up in story mode, but when you play just like standard arcade mode, by the end of a fight, like there are pieces of people's skulls missing and fucking gouges in their chest and stuff.
Yeah,
blood all over them.
That's the Mortal Kombat movie I want to see.
Yeah,
it'll be like the story of Ricky.
Yeah. Isn't that what you were thinking of with the X-ray and all the beatdowns and the blood and gore? This is the story of Ricky, man. This Mortal Kombat. Nick, you must have just got hit once and put the controller down and just ran because you didn't see shit in this game, did you?
No, I played the story mode. I'm playing the story mode and the versus mode, but I didn't play the arcade bit.
Okay, you're right. I guess in arcade mode you see a lot of this because you don't get a lot of this in story mode. You're right about that. But hey, Jason, so you played some of the online stuff, and did you play any other people, like any real people?
Oh yeah.
How was it? What's your experience like with the game? We haven't heard.
It was humiliating. Even my spamming moves didn't work because this is all I can do. I find 2 moves that work. One of them's a throw move. One of them is always a throw move because that takes 1 button. Mm-hmm. And then I find another move, usually an uppercut, and I just do that over and over and over until the other guy falls down. Sometimes I have to time it a little tricky. Say, okay, after this move, that's when I do my uppercut. And eventually I power through it. But yeah, I spam these 2 moves. And man, I get online and these people are not having any of that shit.
So it's the same old story then, huh?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was like going to the junior high dance with and finding out that it was like, so you think you can dance, and I'm up there doing the Roger Rabbit or something, and everybody's doing these pirouettes and like Baryshnikov, Michael Jackson and shit, and here I am stumbling around like a drunken amputee.
And by the way, it's like doing all that and being 30 years old at the junior high dance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then on the rare occasion I get the chance to actually hurt somebody, if I'm like behind them, I end up just like basically like slapping them, like, oh, I'll have an opportunity, an opening to like do something badass, and I'll come up to them, and then I'll just like give them a little push, like, you jerk, you meanie.
Not so hard. I'll give you such a pinch.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say, so Jeff, you stay away from that, okay? We don't want you getting mad and psychotic again.
No, I want the PlayStation Network to come back up so I can play online. Like,
maybe,
not only do I want
that's why Sony took it back down. They didn't want to be responsible
for making Jeff mad, going on a killing spree. Oh, so now here's the deal. We're going to talk about something that I don't think a lot of people have really touched on when it comes to Mortal Kombat or any kind of online play, a trend that's happening. And Jason, I'm glad you brought it up, because they have the King of the Hill mode in this game, where you go online and you get to not only participate as a player in the game, but you get to participate as a spectator. You can watch people like you're watching a movie. You have an avatar. You can, on Xbox, you can even bring in your Xbox avatar and join a bunch of people and cheering or jeering or booing or mocking what's going on with the players on the screen that you see.
It's pretty cool. It brings in that old arcade thing with a bunch of guys who put their quarters up on the machine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that means you're next, and so you can see all the guys that you're about to fight and watch the fight as it happens from when you're watching the people in front of you brawling, and you're making your way through the line to get to the front so you can play.
So it means you can't go in there and spam moves or button mash or anything else to get past there, because if you do, I guess you can if you're very confident, because you're going to have a crowd of people telling you how much you suck if you do that. Leon's going to be out there talking about, do some moves, tell some jokes, so it's like, it really does bring that competition in there and forces you to be a better player. So if you're one of those guys who wants to like spend a lot of time learning everything about Mortal Kombat, and you want to be, if it's worth your time to be appreciated by, and I guess cheered on by a bunch of digital avatars and people you don't know, then cool. This is the place to do it. But to do this, doesn't it require like an online combat pass, and combat with the K, we must remind you.
Yeah, and this is actually to unlock a lot of the online stuff, maybe all of it. I'm not sure, but you get the combat pass that comes on one of the little cards inside the box, and you enter this 25-digit code in, and so essentially half of the value of the game is locked. Then you can't access it until you punch in that code, which, as we were talking about before we started recording, this is a way for publishers to ensure that people don't buy used games. Because if you buy a used game, someone's already used that code. So you have to go in and buy another code, which completely does away with the reason to buy a used game. You don't end up saving any money at all.
Yeah.
And I think they're a bunch of fucking thieves for doing that. A bunch of damn bloodsuckers. Because
I don't know.
I think it was one of the main guys at EA said that buying used, and I could be wrong, one of them said this, buying used games was akin to theft. It's like, yeah, I buy a used car. I didn't get arrested.
Yeah, I buy used CDs.
Someone lived in my house before I bought it. I didn't get arrested.
Haven't you heard of recycling, motherfucker? You should try it. Christ.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Jason, the whole Project $10 online pass thing goes a long way towards fucking GameStop, and anything that fucks GameStop can't be all that bad, in my opinion.
I've changed my mind about GameStop. I told you that little redhead's nice to me now, so I don't think they're as bad as I used to come across. So I listen. I don't buy used games not because of any kind of moral thing. I just don't think it makes sense. For a used game, you're not saving that much money. And Jeff, you do have a point in that. Listen, the overhead that GameStop or any used game place is charging you is insane. They buy that game for like about 20 some odd bucks from somebody, then they charge you like $5 less or $10 less than the original price of the game. Just buy the fucking a new copy of the game, unless it's a really old game or something that you can't find anymore, which is going to be cheaper anyway. It doesn't make sense to buy used games to me. But for somebody to come in and say that you're fucking stealing for buying a used games, that's insane. Fuck them, man. I respect people to like try to make a buck. All right, that's business. Okay, if they want to do this and they find a way to make business, that's fine. But don't fucking guilt me into like trying to buy a new pass or buying a used game. That doesn't even make sense. That's stupid. Like Jason said, everybody buys a lot of used shit.
Well, it's just only started, really. So, I don't see the kind of point of, because, you might get bored of the game, you might sell it, and then someone else who really wants it, can get it for a wee bit cheaper, So I just think it's really pikey of them to keep making new copies all the time when there's plenty out there already.
Yeah, no, it's
the same as I think every content delivery, all this stuff has gone through this same debate. Where when video rental was originally started, the movie industry was like, "Well, this is going to kill us. It's illegal. You can't do that." Blah blah blah. But it happened too quickly, and I think that every time this sort of thing happens with a new set of media, you get the same. The content providers, wail and gnash about, "Oh, we're losing money because not everybody's buying a new copy from us." But at the end of the day, I think it all kind of sorts itself out. And I mean, as much as I don't like this
Jeff hopes it sorts itself out by everyone at GameStop getting cancer.
Yes. I'll take that.
Yeah. No, you're right, Jeff. I mean, everybody cries about this and that. Instead of somebody going out of business, they just find a new way to make a buck, or there's a paradigm shift in the business. I mean, it's not as bad as what people say it is. Don't believe the hype, people. Right here, look, if people want to find a way to make money with these online passes and whatnot, fine. Just like I said, just don't make me feel like I'm a criminal for buying anything that's used. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, to conclusion here, I think that this game, from what little I've played 3 modes, and somebody who doesn't play a whole lot of fighting games, not crazy about them, I'm having a great time with this. This is a lot of fun. I'm still playing this, and not because I feel like, because we've already reviewed it. And after we're done with the review, I want to go off and play it some more right now. Just talking about it makes me want to play it right now. So, yeah, this is very much a full-price game for me. And I'm not talking about full price for those gamers out there who experienced fighting gamers. I'm talking about if you're not into fighting games, give this a chance. This might actually kind of change the way developers start making fighting games to appeal to people outside of the usual gamer in this area. So, yeah, I like this game a lot. Anybody else?
I've got to say I agree with you there. I am not the usual fighting gamer, to be honest, but I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm glad that it's going back to that old school arcade style that I like so much from the original Mortal Kombat back in the 90s. So, yeah, absolutely, full price for me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You go.
Okay, Kevin's Jeff's is full price. Mine is. I would honestly say full price because there's just so much there, but I kind of lean towards rental. But if you rent it, you can't get all of the stuff, so you have to buy it full price. So they have strong armed me into giving the rating of full price. What the hell else am I going to say? It's like well, you can only give us this rating because the game's just not even there if you rent it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is the best Mortal Kombat I've seen in years, since Mortal Kombat 3. I'm glad to see they've finally gotten back to just, pure unadulterated crazy fighting. And as much as, it really put my opinion of Marvel vs. Capcom into perspective, because I played this game and I instantly had fun. Marvel vs. Capcom I kind of had to fight to even get to. So I give this really high full price, high buy.
Yeah. And we were talking about how bad the graphics are in the story mode as far as when you see the characters, but the fighting in the game is beautiful. There's so many backgrounds in this game. I mean, they're tearing up the city with dragons and people still just fighting, and it looks...
Oh, wait, hold on a second. That's a bit off, because I kept seeing a few of the same backgrounds reappear again and again. That's the one criticism I would have of the game, is they keep using some of the same backgrounds.
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, that's normal for Mortal Kombat. I mean, that's not unusual. I'm just saying that...
And it's not like they're on a road trip.
Yeah. No, I mean, point out, just quickly in the story mode, like what's that chick with the blue dress, with the...
Katana?
Katana, yeah.
Katana, yeah. There's a bit where she's running away. She's like, okay, no one will ever find me here. And it's this beach where this massive battle took place and, like, corpses everywhere. And I was like, really? Because, to be honest, love, I just had a fight there, like, a few rounds ago. I'm pretty sure that they are scouting the area there. And sure enough, like, 2 people come up and beat the shit out of her.
Damn, Nick wants to be fighting in front of, like, Mount Rushmore and the Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls and shit.
No,
You're
no,
right, Nick.
don't
It's
get me
completely
wrong.
implausible. Like it's just totally ruined the
Don't
story
get me
for Mortal
wrong, I
Kombat.
like this game. It's a love and hate thing because I love the game, but then there are some bits that piss me off, which is that. Another bit was that I felt like the game was taunting me because I was just trying to finish the game tonight. Let me finish to review it in time. And then I was like, oh, I finally beat up this boss. And then I get a trophy saying, congratulations, you're only 50% of the way through. I was like, are you fucking serious, man?
Well, I don't know, Nick. I mean, some of this, I was going to say earlier, I forgot to mention that some of it, I got pretty far in the game just by memorizing about 2 or 3 moves. I would just say that that's it. For, maybe they made it easier for some of the casual gamers out there to play perhaps too easy, but I got pretty far just by doing that, and I mean it kept me coming back, so I can't complain too much about that. I tell you what it is about this game though that really drew me in. It's been a long time since I played a fighting game, and this has really brought me in. I haven't played a fighting game in so long that I didn't even want to hit a woman. We were playing, like we had to start fighting.
This game.
Yeah, no, in this game, well, I had to sit back for a little while because I was putting down the controller like, don't hit me. Bitch, don't hit me. I don't want to hurt you.
Maybe I'm real sorry about this.
Yeah,
Corey, when the girls are bigger than you, you're gonna fucking take them down, especially when they've got 4 arms.
Well,
like,
that's
okay.
That's what happens.
Time to be a gentleman. I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, exactly. After a while, I just got like, all right, that's it. And I had to finally whoop them down. And it's funny because I felt like such a male chauvinist too. Because when I finally beat a girl,
the gloves are coming off.
Oh yeah, I was standing over one bitch. I was like, see, you brought that shit on yourself. I didn't want to hurt you now, but you made me do that shit.
It's your damn fault, love.
Now get in there, cook
Corey
me some
goes
food.
into it like he's Ike Turner.
Now sing this song, bitch. Get up and dance. You gonna dance?
Finish him! Sub-Zero wins. Fatality!